All right, Shalom. Brother, from the Phoenix camp, that being said, we want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to brother out there doing this work in true sincerity, man. And what we're going to get into is, as brothers go through their daily lives, man, it's guaranteed that we catch hell in this thing, man. But with that hell, there's a reason for that hell. It could be a purging process. It could be something that, that the Lord got to correct you on, or it could be, it could be something that you just got to go through because that's just the way it is, man. But with that purging, there's always a cleansing of yourself, man. There's always a learning. You're constantly learning. It's a constant progressing, man. This is not an overnight thing, man. We came out of the world and we're in this truth, and the majority of we're still like newborn babes in this truth, man. So we still gotta be fed with that milk, and we still desire the sincere milk of the word, man. That's how you grow, So with that, man, we gotta go through this purging process, man. If that you want to get that first scripture up.
I got a scripture real quick, brother.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah 48 and 10. It says, "Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction."
Come on.
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, the refinement, man. What is refining? And that's that going on what the brothers say when they melt down that gold to take out the impurities. That's a purging process, man. Because brothers in this when we come into the truth, we bring a lot of impurities with us from the world. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our old way of thinking, it got to be purged out of us. Our old habits, man. The old thing, the music that sometimes you listen to, you got to do away with, man. The old habit that you used to have. The people that you used to hang around with, man. Or just, the things that you were doing before, those impurities, the Lord counts like impurities. In order to be a man of truth, you got to let go of a lot of things, man. You got to pretty much alter your whole lifestyle, for this truth. So that's what we're talking about. So it's like, if you read that again, brother.
This is Isaiah 48 and 10. And you know what? I looked at that word refinement. It does mean, it says purge away.
So like a purging, brother.
That's the spirit.
And how do you purge, man? Through fire, catching hell. That's why they call it catching hell. And hell's not a place where people go and die and they suffer eternal punishment. When we say catching hell, we mean that we going through some shit. That's what brothers mean when we say catching hell. Because us brothers GMS, we don't believe in hell. Hell is a false doctrine by the so-called Christian churches, man. Hell is here on earth.
If I may add to what you're saying, brother, like, when you purge something, when you put the fire on something, man, that's symbolically for being in the furnace of affliction, like the scripture says. A furnace is like a big oven, man. Like, you put something in that oven and it gets heated, man, and it's purging away, but that's symbolically that refining, that purging, that heat is actually it's afflictions that you go through that teach you how to be humble, man. It's like ass whoopings, man, from up on high. Like things that you go through, they're like ass whoopings to either things you did in the past life, things that you're currently probably be doing, or things that you might do even in the future. Man, the Lord is always putting you in the furnace, purging you, melting away, that bad behavior, that rebelliousness, man. I'm gonna run this back real quick. It's Isaiah 48:10. "Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction."
Oh man, so that's going up the purging the brother was talking about. And that's something that every brother that's been called to the truth has to go through. And whether or not you stand that fiery trial is up to the Lord, man. Because He's going to give some brothers spirit to withstand that trial, and some men that are called to this thing, they're not going to stand that trial. They're going to get casted out, man. They're not going to endure. Go ahead, brother. You got something?
Yeah. Going into what you say, I got two clear scriptures. Going into what the brother brought out, man, and he said that many are called, but few are chosen, man. This is Matthew 22 and 14. For many are called, but few are chosen, So those chosen ones are the ones that the Most High is going to purify with His word, And I also got this.
Very like the brother said, man, many are called and few are chosen. And so we all know that we have been called to do this work, but whether we have been chosen or not, we don't know yet. The Most High willing, man, if we be those chosen, man, We desire to be the chosen men. Our hope is to be the chosen men. Our faith is to be the chosen men, man. That's our hope. But like the scriptures say, what is faith, man? Faith is something that things hope for, man. So we hope to be those men. And we have faith that, the Most High will bring us through that and for doing this work. That's something, brother? Or is that all? While you're getting down, I'll get this one real quick. This is Ecclesiastes 2:5. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity." Man, and the key word in this is acceptable man. Because you got to be acceptable in the sight of the Lord, man. That's why in Romans 12:1 says you got to be a living sacrifice, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be acceptable to the Most High, and He has to make you acceptable to what? To the purging. To the purging. You got to get rid of all the impurities and all the bullshit that you brought with you when you came out of the world and into this truth, man. Is that it, brother?
Yeah. This is Zechariah 13:9. "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power." That's what we're in the process of that, man. We're in the process of being purged like gold is, because when you put gold through the furnace, man, it cleans out all the impurities that the gold is when you put it out of the dirt, man. Out of the earth. And that's pretty much us, man. We're pulled out of America, this society, and we have all these defects with us, all these impurities in us, and through the cleansing of the word, through the book of living waters, man, we're being purged, we're being cleansed, we're being cleansed and made perfect as Yahawashi was, man, and because the scriptures also say, man, that we can be in a comfortable state here, and that's part of being in affliction, because Yahawashi said, they say about Yahawashi that through his sufferings he was made perfect, man. So we have to suffer, we have to go through it to be made perfect, to be made found worthy of the kingdom of heaven, man. That's being prepared for us, that's already prepared for us, pretty much, because Yahawashi said 2,000 years ago that he goes to prepare a place for us, and if you can imagine, that place is spectacular. And when we get it, man, we have to be perfect, and that's what we have to go through it right now, man. We have to, be purged, be chastised, and just catch hell, because hey, the reward is great, man,
You got something no more? No? Okay, with that, I'm going to get this one real quick. This is James 5:10. It says, "Take my brethren the prophets who have spoken in the name of the Lord for an example of suffering, affliction, and patience." And the key word of that is patience, man. So when you're going through your suffering and affliction, you got that to build up your patience, man. We gotta take the example that the prophets, the men of great renown, man, the men of the ancient days, what they went through. You know what I'm saying? And if you really want to think about it, what they went through ain't shit to what you're going through, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Salakia. But what we going through ain't shit to what the prophets went through, man. Because, if you really sit and think about it, man, they were catching a lot of affliction, man. Great affliction, man, up to the point of death. There's going to be a time where brothers going to go through that. But, for right now, man, hey, this is just like a little, like the brother said, this is like a little spanking from the Most High, man. This is just like a little belt weight, man. It really ain't nothing, man. Because the Lord has mercy and grace upon you, man. And I'm going to keep on reading verse 11. It says, "Behold, we count them happy which endure." So that's something to give you comfort, man. If you're enduring, be happy, man. Don't have that woe is me spirit. You have heard of the patience of Job and have seen the end of the Lord. And what was that end of the Lord that they're talking about? Hey, Job, the Lord rewarded Job, was much more. Was much more what he had, man. And he took everything away from him, but he gave him much more, man. That's why I said, "Behold, we come in happy and endure. We have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercy." So the Lord still has mercy on us, even though we're catching this hell, man. As the scripture says, He's not going to put on more than you can handle, man.
Going into what we were mentioning, man. We're gonna go through hell, man. It's part of this truth. The apostles and the elders of Great Muslim bring this up a lot. They say that you can, when people, when you come into this truth and you believe that you're not gonna catch hell, you're up for a rude awakening, man. Because this truth and catching hell go hand in hand, man. They're joined in one, So this is Acts 14:22. confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. You know, and that's plain and simple, man. Because you know, after you're gonna tell me after everything wicked that we've done in this life, man, you know, you're not gonna put up with the little chastisement that the Lord is gonna give you, man. You know, to correct you, because hey, man, we were all in a wicked ass state, man. We need this. We need this. This catching hell, you know. This is making us men, you know, real men of the Lord, you know. Because hey, man, it's like the Most High couldn't just bring you from that death state you were in and put you in the kingdom just like that, man. There's a process to it, you know. Just like for anything, there's a process. Hey, this is the Most High's process to purchase it and to make us perfect, man. You know, you can't get mad at it, man. You know, you gotta go with it and be happy. You know, the scriptures say, "Be happy when thou art turned into a lower state," man. That's right. You know, and that's what we're in right now. We're in the lowest state, you know, but we take it gladly because we're doing the work of Yahawashi, man.
Kind of like the Most High said to Job, he said, "Gird up that loins, man." Basically, the Most High telling to Job, "Hey, suck it up, man." Pretty much, you know. Pretty much, he's telling me, "Stop being a bitch about it, man. Suck it up. Go through it." You know, gird up thy loins. You know, and you know that's like your loins is like, you know, it's like a belt. Pretty much, the Lord said, "They tie your nuts up, man." You know, to speak it today's vocabulary, man. Hey, like they say in Spanish, hey, "Pétale los huevos," man. You know, so just suck it up, man. You know, it is what it is. You know, and no use in crying about it, man.
I got a precept. This is the book of Hebrews 5 and 8. Talking about Yahawashi. It says, "Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered," man. And that's the thing, man. Like going back, you know, in that furnace. You know what I mean? When you get put in a furnace, man, it's hot. And life sometimes gets hot. Sometimes life gets, you know, at all angles. You know what I mean? You lose your wits end sometimes. You're like, man, you know, what do I do? You know, there ain't no money here. You know, family's tripping over here. The spiritual, you know, burden is always there. You know what I'm saying? You know, laboring to stay in the spirit, to stay away from carnal things. You know, all these things that you go through, man, it's really so that you learn obedience. You know, Yahawashi, you know, he had to go through it, man. And through the things that he suffered, he learned obedience, even in his perfect state. You know, being on the earth, condemning sin in the flesh, even the things that he went through, he learned obedience even then. So he was manifold wisdom, you know. I'm gonna run this back. It says Hebrews 5 and 8. "Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered." And you know, when you first come into truth, man, you know, you might mess up and do all kinds of, you know, little things that it's just not wise in your walk. So what happens? The Lord has to start chastising you, man. So to start molding you. You know what I'm saying? And you learn obedience by getting your ass whipped, you know. And sometimes some brothers get it more than others, but it's all for to mold you, man. And you don't learn without an ass whooping, man. That's how the Heavenly Father deals like a father. It's something in the book of Hebrews, the 12th chapter. You know what I mean? It says yet learn obedience by the things which he suffered and being made perfect, right? So you're being made perfect, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're spiritual, you know, you do something, okay, that you're not supposed to do, man. You know, you're not in order, or you do something in your personal walk. Hey, you know, you being in this knowledge, you having the spirit of Yahawashi, the Lord going to chastise you real quick, man. But you know, and then if you're spiritual, then you'll say, you know what, I know why that happened, and then you won't do that anymore. You learn to shun that evil and walk away, so you be made perfect, more better. It says, "He became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him." So Yahawashi, he's the author of the salvation, man. So we have to look at him as being an example of how to be made perfect, man.
I gotta run to back you up because Yahawashi is important, man. You know, this is Hebrews 4 and 14. "Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Yahawashi, the Son of the Most High, let us hold fast our profession. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we were, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. You know, that's what we're in, man. We need mercy, man. We seek mercy, you know, because, hey, man, Yahawashi, you can't say, man, oh, I'm just going through this, you know, no one else is going through it, man. Nah, man, Yahawashi, it says right there that Yahawashi himself went through what we're going through, man. And hey, you guys believe he got it way worse than we're getting it, man, you know? Because he was perfect without sin, and look what they did to him, man. Yet us, we swim in sin, you know, we're sinful to this day, man. You know, just being alive here it's a sin. And you're gonna complain about catching it all. Hey, man, that's not the way to be, man. You know, we deserve the hell that we're catching, for you. That's what I'm trying to say, man. You know?
It's 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. Right, and a temptation is anything that'll tempt you to fall out of believing in Yahawashi and Yahawashi. Or there's no temptation out there that any man in this truth, you know what I'm saying, is not going through. We're all going through something, you know what I mean? We're all going through the same things. There's nothing, ain't nobody going through something that it's special, you know what I'm saying? You know, we're all special, man, but the things that we're going through, man, we're all going through something. We're all going through the same type of things. This brother's going through things that you don't think you're going through. It says, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, man. So in reality, man, you know, the Lord, man, you know, He's with us, man. And He's right there. We can't see Him. We got faith that when we pray to the Heavenly Father, you know, we're like, Lord, you know, we know you hear. We know you're chastising us. And we know that you're not going to let us go through things that it's too hard for us to bear, man. And we have to always keep that in mind. The scriptures tell us that. It says, but the Most High is faithful. All right, so the Most High is there, man. He's with brothers, man, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape. So that, you know, although you might be catching hell or you might be getting tempted to fall, but the Lord's right there, man. And He always leaves an exit door like, look, okay, you might be going through this, but look, I left you this. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know, you got a dead end, but look, check this out, man. There's a right, hook a right, man, and then there's you free as a bird, or you know, before you step on a landmine, you know, the Lord will just pick you up and just put you out of the way, man. That's how it is, man. When you're spiritual, man, you know, you be seeing that the Lord be delivering us out of all kinds of things, man.
Yeah, that's why it's important to always keep spiritual, man. You know, just a little example, man. You know, you don't catch a certain lie. You don't get all pissed, man. The Most High, if you're spiritual, man, if you cross that line, you probably could have gotten in a car accident, man. So you gotta use the spirit of the Most High. How about you share what? That's what the scriptures that says, man. Don't be listening to the word, but be doers, man. You know, if you're really about this, man, your day to day, you gotta walk in the spirit, man. You know, that's very important. It'll save you from a lot of bullshit, man. But with that, I'm gonna get on. Ecclesiastes 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. You know, and that's what the brother was going into, man, being tempted. Because there's gonna be something out there, man, and every brother has their weaknesses and their strength, man. You know. You just gotta maintain, man. You gotta know that you're gonna be tempted, man, and you gotta fight the fight. You know, fight the good fight, like Paul said, man. You know, and get that reward at the end of it, man.
Bahasham. 1 Peter 4:12. Beloved, think is not strange concerning prior trial, which try you.
Hey, think it not strange, beloved. Beloved is what? The man doing his work. We are the Lord's beloved, man, because the Lord loves that we're doing this thing, man. The Lord loves that we're going out the highways, because this is the Lord's will. It's the Lord's will. So the Lord's talking about the man that's doing his work. You know, keep on going up.
As for some strange things happen unto you.
So it's not an uncommon thing, whatever you're going through. It's going to be something that every brother's going to have to go through. You know, the fiery trial, you know, the catching of the hell. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, don't think it's strange, man. It should be, basically, what the Most High saying is it should be, you should get used to it, basically what telling you to do. Think it not strange. Hey, just get used to catching hell, because this is part of this truth. Keep going.
But rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Mashiach's suffering, that when His glory shall be received, ye may be glad also exceeding joy.
John, and you're partakers of Yahawashi, Mashiach's suffering, man. Hey, you have to go through it. So we're not We are not any better than him. But what is Yahawashi going to get? He's going to get the whole universe, man. You know? He's going to get glory. When he comes back, he's going to get vengeance on his enemies. And that's what brothers that endure to the end, we're going to get the same thing because we're co-inheritors with Yahawashi. We're going to get glory, man. We're going to get vengeance on our enemies. You know? We're going to get the things that, you know, we're going to get dominion over people and land. Most high when we beat those men. So going to this little bullshit in this world, it ain't shit to the things that we're going to get, man. They just say, eye is not here, eye is not seen, and ear is not heard, man. You know the glories that we're going to get, man. Roughly paraphrasing.
Hey, Apostle brought this up too, man. Like, imagine Yahawah has been working on this place that he went to prepare for us for 2,000 years. Just imagine how spectacular that place is, man. You know? Hey, man. But I have this is Hebrews 12, and you know, brother brought it up. I'll bring it up. Hebrews 12:5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? For if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. Hey, man, and you want to be the son of the Most High, man, so when you catch that chastisement, hey, best believe that's the Most High getting at you for something that he knows you could do better at, you know, that he could, hey, you got a little speckle there, hey, he's going to take it away by correction, you know, by chastisement, man. That's the best way to do it, man. Hey, I remember when I was a little kid, you don't really hear by words, you know, when you catch that whooping, that's when you fucking, oh shit, I'm not going to do that again because I ain't trying to get another whooping, man. And you know, if you do it again, you know, the second whooping is going to be worse than the first, man, you know?
Hey, you know what? In the book of Isaiah, the scripture says, who teaches like him, man? Who teaches like Yahawashi? And he, like a father, you know, you look up to your father and he has wise words that, you know, you at your young age, you think you know it all, man. But when the father come and tell you, hey, man, you don't know nothing, man. You know, your parents tell you, hey, I brought you in this world, I can take you out. And you look back and you're like, you say that to your kids now. But, you know, the point I'm trying to make is that wisdom, man, that correction, you know what I'm saying? The Lord deals with you like a son, man. He's teaching you. He's showing us. He's making us perfect, man. Like the Lord had to go through sufferings to become made perfect and to learn obedience. We also are going to go through things in this life that we learn obedience. If the Lord has to bow you down, that's what he's going to do, man. You got something, brother? I got a piece that will bring it up. This is this is 2 Timothy 2:11. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him, man. So, and we're dead right now. You know, some of the things that brothers catch, man, is like, you know, like low-key try to be a little bit accepted in the world. Not trying to be of the world. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if you think you know, people, your co-workers or family members or other people are going to accept you, hey, man, you're dead to the world, man. Yahawashi, you know, you signed a spiritual contract and you told the Lord, hey, I turn my back on this life. You know, you spiritually died. You know what I'm saying? You learn the law, you learn what you did wrong, and then the Lord gives you the knowledge of sin and the knowledge of the blueprint of salvation. You dead, man. You dead to the world. But you know, like Yahawashi died, hey, man, and he rose, hey, we died spiritually, and we're going to live with him, man, whether it be through life or whether it be through death.
Like the brother said, hey, Yahawashi did the same thing. He lived a so-called normal life. He was a carpenter, man. You know? He left a normal life, and he went to go teach his word. You know what I'm saying? He went to go teach his word. You know, he was a carpenter. The scripture says he was a carpenter, man. So he left that role of being a carpenter, and he went to go do what he had to do. He had to go fulfill the prophecies that were written of him. You know, so that's what brothers do too. And when we heard this truth, we left our old man behind. We left that old man behind. We don't partake in the things of this world anymore. You know, like the brother said, we don't try to be accepted to the world anymore, man. You know, if you still try to, you know, get into the world's game, hey man, hey, watch out. That could lead to your destruction. You know, you gotta be out of it, man. You can play the game with your coworkers. You can you know, talk shit with them or whatever. But like the brother said, the thing that you're gonna be accepted by them, and you're of a different spirit than them, man. You know, you can't be accepted by them unless you lower your spirit down to their level.
That's right.
And then that, you know what, you do that, the Lord gonna fuck you up.
Hey, but you know what? Hey, if I may say, if I may say, man, I was watching a video, man, that the brothers did in the Dallas camp. You know, they were saying that be sober and spiritually minded, something to that effect. They were saying, man, you could try to hide among the world. You could try, man. But if you're a man of the Lord, man, if you're that hopeful elect, you're not gonna fit in, man.
Yeah, no.
There's nothing you can do, man. You got that light in you, man. Brothers got that light. But we're dead to the world, man. You know what I'm saying? But if we be dead to the world, man, we're gonna live, man. You know, so we shouldn't really, you know what I'm saying? If you got them thoughts, hey man, you gotta rebuke them thoughts, because really Yahawashi, you know, hey man, he was an example of a loner, man. You know, this is 2 Timothy 2:12. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we suffer in this life, man, and endure to the end, we're gonna get the kingdom, like the brother was saying. The Lord prepared a place, man. We're gonna reign in that place, man, with Yahawashi, under Yahawashi. If we deny him, he also will deny us, man. So if you do not go through your affliction, if you don't endure that bitterness, man, you know, the things that come along with it, and being a servant of Yahawashi, hey man, if you deny the Lord, man, the Lord's going to deny you. You're not going to make it. The scriptures tell you that the Lord's going to shut the door, man, shut them charity doors on you, man. It says, if we believe not that he abideth faithful, right? Hey, the Lord's not a man that should lie, man. He said he was going to come back for the hopeful elect, man, and he's going to do it. So it doesn't matter if you believe or not. It says he cannot deny himself, man, and we're little pieces of Yahawashi, man. That hopeful elect. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to deny himself. You're not going to deny him reigning and him bringing his people back, bro. You ain't going to do any of that. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, and backtracking a little bit to what the brother said about, you know, being around other dudes, man. Like, why the hell we want to be with someone that you know, because most of Jake, man, they think that adultery is good. They think, you know, eating abominable foods is good. You know, they like doing drugs. Why would you want to be around something like that, man? You know, once you come into this truth, your whole persona changes, man. You ain't about that anymore. You know, that shit bothers you. You're around there, you're like, oh, that's wicked, man. You know, I ain't trying to be around something wicked, man. You know, it's like the saying that goes that one spoiled apple spoils the rest, man. That's what it is, man. Sooner or later, if you keep being around niggas like that, man, it's gonna run up, it's gonna rub up, you're gonna rub off on you, yeah. And you don't want to be that, man. This ain't the time for us to be making friends, man. You know, in the kingdom, all those jigs are gonna be cool, man. You can way into the kingdom, you know. But with that, I want to get this is Hebrews 13 and 14. For we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. And that's what it is, man. We ain't trying to build up here, man, because we know everything that we build here is for vain, man. You know, yeah, you know, it's like in Corinthians it says, we use the world, but don't abuse it, man. You know, we gotta do our thing, you know, gotta get some paper, you gotta get some cheese, you know. But ultimately, we ain't seeking to make something out of us and this planet, but what we seek is to preach the word of Yahawashi, man. We ain't trying to buy a house, you know. We don't see us here being in a 30-year stay, you know, building our 401k and whatnot. No, hell no, man. We're seeking the kingdom to come, man. You know, like the scriptures say, man. We're seeking treasures in heaven. You know, we're putting our bank account with the Most High, Yahawashi, man. You know, that's what we're seeking, man. You know, we're seeking the riches of the kingdom that's to come, man. You know, fuck all this shit. This is all, it's all fuel for the fire, ultimately, you know.
And like Peter said, I counted all this gone, man. I counted all this shit. You good, brother, or something?
Yeah, I got something. This is the book of Romans 8 and 18. It says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Right, man. So, hey, that was Apostle Paul saying that, you know, the sufferings of this life, man. You know, hey, man, it's not even supposed to be mentioned, man, in the same light as what's gonna, you know, what's gonna be given to the elect, man, in the kingdom, man. Promises and paradise. It's paradise, man. It's not even worthy to be mentioned, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially hey, what you go through, man, and you being a man of the Lord, man, all that stuff, man, it's like, it ain't even gonna add up. You can't even weigh it. It's not even on the same balance.
Now, yeah, that's this is James 4 and 9. The scripture says that we're gonna be afflicted, man. It says, be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning. What is that talking about, man? That's talking about what was our laughter before? Laughter was our folly in this world, man. We gotta turn that into mourning, man. We can't be dealing with the world, man. It says, be afflicted, mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, your joy to heaviness. The thing that you got that give you joy in the world, that should give you heaviness. Now, like the brother said, man. When you were in the world, man, you thought doing drugs was cool. You probably thought, doing your best friend's old lady was cool. That was like a joy or pleasure, but now that's wicked too. That's heaviness, man. Hey, be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, your joy, your heaviness. Humble yourselves. That's the main purpose of being afflicted, of being persecuted, of being put in the fiery trial, is to purge you from all that bullshit that you usually think about in the world, man. Whatever it may be, to humble you, to keep you like a little baby, man. Because if you're trying to be proud of this thing, the Most High ain't going to deal with you, point blank, period. Because the scripture said that He don't deal with the proud, man. He deals with the humble, He deals with the meek, He deals with the lowly in spirit. And that's how we are out in this world, man. Compared to the people in this world, we're humble men. We're not trying to get too much. We're not trying to come over on another person. We just want to make a little money and to feed ourselves. Whatever the Lord provides for us, we want to do this work. That's all we want. We don't want nothing more than that, man. We ain't looking for fancy cars and fancy things like the brother said, 401ks and houses like that. And the scripture said, think not of tomorrow, man. Keep on going. It says, speak not evil of one another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother, judge his brother, speaketh evil of the law, judge the law. But thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judgest another, man? But basically what it's saying, man, that hey, we gotta conform to, like the brother said, don't be a hearer, or just be a hearer, be a doer of this word, man. We know the law, so now we know not to report. Say now we know not to go off. We're still gonna do it, but because we're in the shades of darkness. But to the best of our ability, we know not to do. We know what not to do. We go off sometimes. We go off. We know not to do what not to do. Anybody got something?
Yeah, I got something, bro. This is Philippians 3:8. Yeah, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahawashi, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Yahawashi. That's the deal, man. We gotta, like we've been saying, man, we're seeking something that you can't even imagine what we're seeking, man. We're seeking something to come, the kingdom of Yahawashi, man. And being joint heirs with Yahawashi, man. That's what we're seeking, man. So fuck everything else, man. It is what it is. We ain't of the world. We're just using the world. Doing our thing, but ultimately, hey, man, brothers, hasten the day, man. We pray that this shit don't go out till tomorrow, man. We pray that this shit will go out right now. As we speak, Yahawashi crafts the sky with them chariots, but ultimately everything has a timetable. The Most High Yahawah knows when the day is, man. Only He knows, and hey, we'll be here waiting until He comes, man, pushing His word for truth and sincerity, man.
I got fixed up. This is the 2 Corinthians 4:16. It says, "For which cause we faint not," right? Because you being a man of the Lord and doing the work, you see all this evil around you. You see, the demonic vibration that the people are in. They're worshiping Satan by their works, and we're not supposed to faint, man, because hey, that should be vexing, man. You're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, man. You're seeing death on all sides. It says, "For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish." Well, right, and our outward man is perishing, man. You get old in this life, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't get younger, you get older. You know what I mean? And you gotta get up every day, and you gotta put your body to the test, man. Every day, at work, our outward man is perishing, man. We're dying out here, man. Being, under this polluted air, the food makes you the food makes you unhealthy, you know, the water's unhealthy, our outward man is perishing, man, but we ought to faint not, man, and all these things that we're going through. It says, yet the inward man is renewed day by day, man. So you being in the spirit, you being amongst brothers, man, and you teaching the word, and your inward man is renewed, man. You know what I'm saying? It's made more spiritual. It's made better, man, through this word. You know, the spirit is made you get deeper into your calling, deeper into following the Heavenly Father. It says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. So we don't look at this life, man. You know, the scriptures say, for we walk by faith and not by sight. We don't look at the things that are seen, man. We look at the unseen, man. We look at, you know, the Lord delivering us out of all of our afflictions. You know, Him showing us spiritually where we went off. And learning and say, oh, okay, I see what happened. You know what I mean? Brothers are supposed to see that. You know, we don't look at the things that are seen. We look at the things that are unseen. You know? It says, for the things which are seen are temporal. Right. You know, the things that you see in this life, man, the afflictions that you go through, the humiliations, man, the being reproached, the chastisements, you know, the different manifold, you know, afflictions that you go through, man. Hey, man, that's temporal. That's only for right now. Now, the Lord's going to come back and alleviate all that. It says, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So, you know, the kingdom, all right, the promises that the Lord gave, the new covenant, man, that the Lord's going to put in our inward parts. You know what I'm saying? Paradise open, man. You know, immortality. Those things, man. Hey, we desire immortality, man. We desire righteousness, justice upon the earth, man. Things, you know, they be fair. Hey, those things are forever, man. Those are eternal. And that's what we need to remember, that, you know, it's worth it, man. At the end of catching all this hell, there's a greater reward at the end, man. So, brothers, you know, we have not to faint, even though that, you know, we dying out here, but still, man, the Lord's making us stronger through all these things, man.
Hebrews 11 and 26. It seemed to be reproach of Mashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward.
Go ahead, speak on it.
It said that, not seen the thing I've ever seen, but things that are not seen. Mm-hmm. In the kingdom, our reward will be much greater than in Egypt being here today, America.
And Egypt is talking about here, man. Egypt is talking about the land of our captivity, the land of our bondage. That's here in America, man. That's more.
Hey, you know, I just want to say something, brother. You know what? I was thinking about that precept in my head. That's perfect. Spirit.
There's more? You get more? With that being said, man, we hope the lesson was edifying to you, brothers, man. You know, hey, we're going to catch up on this thing. That's just the way it is. But the Lord's going to give you the spirit to endure that hill, man. The Lord also gave you a brotherhood, you know, to back you up. You know, you can always call a brother up, man. You can always, a brother's always going to be there, man, to support you, you know, through the spirit, man. You know, and another thing, prayer is also important too. You know, the prayer of a righteous man availeth much. You know, so you put your effort into prayer. Hey, the Lord, like the brother, head of our camp would say, because, you know, with the Lord, nothing is impossible, man. So He can get you whatever spot you in. You know, all you gotta do is have trust and have faith in the Lord, man. Because that's part of this thing too, because it's true to build up our faith. You know, to build up our faith on a high level, man. And with that being said, man, you hope the brother will help us edify you, brothers, man. You brothers keep pushing your journey. That being said, we say, Barak to Yahawah, Barak to Yahawashi, Barak to Yahawah, Barak to Yahawashi, Barak to Yahawah, Barak to Yahawashi. Shalom.